Hi guys, it's Tom Stoltman here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Tom Stoltman, the World's Strongest Man here, and we are going to talk about and give you an overview of World's Strongest Man, the events, and how I'm feeling about it all. We're about 3 weeks out from going out to World's Strongest Man. Yeah, let's talk about how I'm feeling, how training is going. So training's going very good. Dan was up, as some of you may have seen last week. That was my best week of training. Everything was ticking, everything felt great. Body felt great, mind felt great, which is a bonus. You know, obviously I'm still going to be getting not peaked at 100% yet, which is obvious, so everything's going good. But yeah, all I can say is training's going well, mind's very good, diet's good, everything that needs to be good is good. So let's get into the World's Strongest Man event. So we've got 6 events in the qualifier. Number 1 is loading race. So loading race is in the name, you know, loading race has been a staple in World's Strongest Man for years. Since I've been doing it, there's been a loading race. Usually loading race is in the final. This year it's in the qualifier, first event of the World's Strongest Man, so a nice way to kick off World's Strongest Man. I think loading race is going to probably be free implements, like it usually is. Maybe sandbags, anvil, I don't know, maybe some toolbox because NACA there or whatever, I don't know what it is, but we're just training it as best as we can. 10 to 12 meters. Honestly, I think I'm going to win that one. I think I've unbeaten at loading at World's Strongest Man the last few years. Loading and me go hand in hand. Long strides, can rip it off the floor, and obviously having bigger strides when you're doing loading race is a massive advantage as I cover up more ground. So yeah, that's a very good event for myself to start off the qualifier with, to start off World's Strongest Man with. Good thing about it being the qualifier as well, you can be smart, you know, you don't have to go 100% in any of these events if you don't have to. I can't say who's going to come second, third, fourth in it because I don't have my groups yet, so I'm just going to be doing these qualifier events and where I think I'm going to place in them. Second event, deadlift ladder, a new event to come to World's Strongest Man. I've not seen this event ever, but it's very fun because it gives us something new to train, something interesting, and not just a kind of normal deadlift like we see, you know, in most competitions. I've seen this at Europe's Strongest Man when Luke did it, and it looked very brutal, it looked good. Nobody hit the 400. I think it's going to be the exact same as Europe's, you know, 5 bars. Don't know if it's going to be 380, 400. Don't know where it's going to start. You know, there's a lot of different things. People will be suit, no suits. There'll be straps. People will be doing hook grip and stuff. But for me, as I'm doing training, I'm going to be using a suit and I'm going to be using straps. Again, this is a qualifier, so if I hook grip or do under over and burst my bicep or, you know, get calluses in my hands, this could, you know, mark the rest of your competition out. So I'd rather be, you know, a bit slower and finish them all than not finish them all and end up training all my callus and stuff. But I'm confident with this. Training's going good. I think I'm going to hit top, you know, top number 1 in this, top 2. It depends. Like I said, I can't really predict anything. I'll probably say number 1 in all the events because I don't have a group yet. But we're just going to find out what the groups are. But like I said, I'm confident in my deadlift. My deadlifts have been going very good. You can see me at Britain's Strongest Man, the way I deadlifted against Bishop and stuff. So yeah, deadlifts are a very confident event for me. Third event, car walk. Again, another event that I've never done at World's Strongest Man. Car walk's a really cool event. I really enjoyed doing this when, you know, when I hear it announced. You know, I think I did it at Glasgow last year, performed very well in it. So again, I just want to repeat that. Just basically like a yoke, but you just need to stabilize yourself a bit more. You don't want to overthink it. You know, people will be like, oh, it's a car, how you lift that? You just go in it, pick it up and walk. As simple as that. 15, 20 meters, I don't know how long it is, but again, I think I'm going to win that one. Hey, I'm going to win all of them. It's very good that World's Strongest Man's changing up some of the events. The 4th event is log lift, so it's going to be log lift for reps. It'll probably be the standard 1.5 time limit or 75 seconds, 150 to 160. I've never seen log for reps any lighter than that, never seen anything heavier than 160, so it's going to be in between that. So, you know, we're training again. Training's going very good for that. Been doing a lot of high volume for that, which is really important. There's no point doing 1 or 2 reps in this sort of training, especially when you've got, you know, 3 or 4 events before this. The heat out there, you need to kind of be, you know, very conditioned for an event like this. And there's a lot of good log presses out there, so this is going to be fun. See what happens when we get the groups. But again, log press for me is going very good. Log press, I'm very consistent at when it comes to reps. I've drawn with Luke at the world record at 9 reps last year at Glasgow. So I think log for reps, I'm up there with some of the best in the world. You know, my max ain't as good, but rep stuff I can, you know, rep forever. So yeah, again, a very exciting event for myself. Then we have got the wrecking ball hold. Baby, you're my wrecking ball. I just made that up, but yeah, anyway. That's so cool because usually, I mean, when everyone says grip events, they go car deadlift hold, Hercules hold, and they're usually 2 or like a max farmers grip event or whatever it is. So This is a new event for everyone. This is going to be, I think, a really cool event. If you look at back at our YouTube videos, the way we've been training for this has been, you know, well, we trained for it last week for the first time. It's cool. It's a really cool event. Something different. Going to be fun. And again, this is just, again, who can hold it the longest. Mentally, you just have to be crazy, and you just have to keep on screaming, say it's not heavy, and just, yeah. It's just whoever has the willpower is going to win this one. And then that sets it up nicely for the stone off. Stone off, I think, is a staple now in World's Strongest Man. It gives the opportunity of second and third place. If you're in second place, you know, you're automatically not going to get through, which, you know, for some people it sucks, but at the end of the day, you know, people always kind of moan about this event, but every single year, everybody knows this is an event. So, one, I don't know why people train it. Two, if you're second place and you lose to third place, there's nothing else to do, but you know about it all. You know, like if I'm in second place and I lose to someone in third place, I knew that the stone event was going to be in it before I went out there, so you need to prep for it. It doesn't matter how confident you are in the group, you should always prep for this event. Anything can happen. The goal, obviously, for everyone is to come number one in the group, then you don't have to have that kind of pressure, nerves to be like, right, I'm second place, I might still not get through. And that can cause a lot of people, you know, a lot of doubt and stuff. So second and third place go into a stone off, which is going to be exactly like last year. You start off at a light stone, you load it back and forth, and you keep going all the way. The last stone's 210, and you just keep basically doing hot potato until someone can't get it over. And that's just what it is, you know, whoever wins it wins it. And like I said, there's a lot of people that moan about it, but we have the events, we know it's there. Nobody has an excuse to be like, oh, it's not fair. A lot of people moan about it, but yeah, shut up and get on with it, because at the end of the day, everyone's on the same boat, and we'll know who's been training stones when it comes to this event. That's the qualifiers. Like I said, these qualifier events are really good. A really nice mix of events, and a good thing about this year as well is every single group will be doing the same event, so there's not going to be like it was the last few years where, oh, my group could be deadlifting, group 2 could be squatting, group 3 could deadlift, group 4 squat. Every single qualifier event you see on that list will be getting done by every single athlete. So that's a new thing that's happening. That's, I think, a very fair as well, that we can then kind of see, you know, the judge of whose pressing looks good, whose deadlift looking good, etc, etc. So yeah, very fond of Worlds for doing that, and it's, you know, going to make it a much more interesting field, I think, because obviously, like you say, you know, in the final as well there's a deadlift. So if someone's got squats in the qualifier and then someone has to have a medley plus a deadlift in the final, it's not very fair. So it's good that everyone's on the same playing field. But anyway, that's the qualifiers over. Like I said, very interesting events. Been very motivated and very excited to train them. It's not just like the standard events that you see in most competitions. I've actually, you know, had some experiments in training, having some fun training sessions, and yeah, been very good. Anyway, on to the final. The finals, again, starts off with six events. Top 10 go through to the final. Event number 1 in the finals is the Nat Giants Medley. Obviously Nat give it away. Nat will be sponsoring this event, so it'll be some sort of Nat toolbox. You have to load it onto a platform, then run and get a yoke, which is about 400 and something kilograms, and just, you know, 10 metres of that, 12 metres of that. A simple event to start the final, kind of like what it was last year's final. We started off with a yoke before, then we had to do a frame. This is going to be a really good event for myself. You know, I'm really good at loading those big boxes. The good thing about it with my big levers, like last year there was a big massive whiskey barrel. Shorter guys can't get their hands around it, but for me I can. With my height as well, I don't have to put it onto my lap to get it up, so got a big advantage there. Again, with my strides, again, yokes is really good for me as well. So a very confident event to start off the final for myself, and obviously I think I'm going to win it. But it's hard to say who's going to win. I mean, maybe do another prediction video when we're out there, but like, we don't have the groups, we don't have who we think are going to be for the final between them. So right now, I can't really predict too much, because I can say, oh, I'm going to win every event, because I could have a really easy group, I could have a medium group, I could have a hard group. Martins could have Novikov, Luke, everyone in his group. So, you know, just look what happened last year. Novikov didn't get through. So yeah, let's just wait till the group's out and I'll predict everything. But I'm going to just, like I said, let you know how I feel in them and how I'm going with them all. Deadlift, again, this just says deadlift, but rumour has it it's going to be a car deadlift. You've seen us training car, I don't know if it's side or front handle, but again, car deadlift, I'm enjoying this as well. A different variation than just axle deadlift all the time. I hate training axle deadlift now. For me it's very boring, and I knew World was either going to be a standard deadlift or a car deadlift, so it was either It was to see what were happening. Good thing is I used the bar at the start of my prep to kind of get strong with that. Then I went onto a car, and if a car's a front handle, it's exactly the same as a normal deadlift. So yeah, car deadlift's been flying. The albatross ate a fly, I think. The car deadlift's been flying. Every week I've been hitting what I meant to, and it's just, I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying, like I said, different deadlifting and feeling very strong in that. So a lot of confidence for myself going into that event. Then we have Flintstone barbell, which is behind the neck press barbell. This is probably one of my favourite event in the whole competition. Probably one of my favourite pressing events. I've never ever done this before since 10 weeks ago, and I've been really hitting this hard, and everything's going very smooth with it. My technique's great. It suits me to a T. I'm hitting massive numbers on this. I'm hitting bigger numbers than I am on a push pressing, and yeah, it's just, I feel unbelievably confident. There's a lot of good press I've been seeing. The guy that's done the 220 that's I've been most impressed with is that Pavlo, the wee guy from Ukraine. I've seen his 220, and man, he's smaller than Novikov, and like, it's just crazy to think his technique's really good, and I think he's going to get some good numbers. But there's a lot of people I think that are going to struggle with technique wise in this. A lot of them have to power off their back, but it's the top bit, the bit at the top is lockout is very key. But I've been training this very heavy. I'm not going to say what I've been hitting, but yeah, very confident myself and looking for this event, and I'm honestly think I'm going to win this one. I really want to win this event. I know we'll soon find out what happens, but I'm not saying any more for that, because I am the best in the world. Then bus pull, as it says in the name, we're pulling a lorry. Pranked, we're pulling a bus. Standard event that you've probably seen nearly every single World Strongest Man. 25 metre course, I think. You're tied onto a harness with a rope and you pull a bus. A second last event of the final rain power stairs, a new one to myself. I've watched this when I was younger. I've seen some clips of people doing this, obviously seen Europe. I think it's going to be 3 steps, 3 implements. And obviously it's a duck walk into a power stairs. You have to duck walk it in, don't know how far yet. Then you have to then lift it up to power stairs, so it makes it a bit harder. Don't know if the weights are going to all be the same, or they're going to be increasing, but we're just training with a bit heavier weights just to kind of get used to it all. And again, that's going as best it can be. I think people have seen our setup is not as sturdy and as good as other people's, but we can still do 2 duck walks and that's fine, and yeah, we're feeling very good with that. So that's a very good event for myself and Luke as well. And then last but not least, the finale of every single strongman event out there, the At the Stones. So At the Stones this year is a bit different. You're starting, you see this in a few of the older World Strongest Mans, you're starting away from the platform, and then each stone gets closer. So I think it might be like, say, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the heaviest one's obviously right next to it. So again, this is good. I've been practicing this in training. I feel very good at this event as well. If you're not practicing this, if you're just doing stones without moving the stones in, it's so much harder. I think people think that Atlas stones, walking with an Atlas stone is easy. Trust me, walking with an Atlas stone is hard. 140 kilograms on your diaphragm for 5 meters. It's brutal. So yeah, we've been doing that again. Like I said, we've just been training as hard as we can. We make training harder for us because that's what you need to do. So then when you go out to like the big events like this, everything's kind of easier. Everything should be much easier. We're training longer distances, we're training with more implements, we're training with not as good piece of equipment as other people. So yeah, everything's ticking boxes, feeling very good, and that's kind of the run through for events. Like I said, I can't really predict much because I don't have a clue who's going to be in my group. I don't think it's fair to say who's going to be in the final when we just need to wait till we get the groups, then we can sit down again and go, right, this is who I think is going to be in the final, this is who I think is going to be in the final top 3, and then that's it. But if I was to give a prediction off the top of my head, the top 5 or top 3 you should think should be there would be like myself, Luke, Brian, Novikov, Martins. Those are the top 5, but then you've got the likes of like the other wee young Ukrainian guy, Bishop. There's a lot of guys here that could stir up a lot of things. So you're like, I know I'm going to win World Strongest Man. Luke's going to come second, and then Brian Shaw third. This year Brian Shaw's got a good chance as well, stirring up the pot, because this is really good events for him. So that was my kind of wee rundown of the events. Yeah, everything's going good. Like you said, check out the other earlier YouTube videos of seen us training, seen us prepare for World Strongest Man. Check out Facebook videos, and just follow our journey, and see, if you want to see more, we'll be doing another maybe 1 or 2 training sessions before World Strongest Man filmed, and you'll see that, and you might even see us pull a fire brigade. Anyway guys, stay spicy and thank you for watching.